Okay, here's a linear equation that we need to solve. I know it's an equation because we have an equal sign right here. Equals means equation. And what that means is that we're going to get our variable all by itself. So here's our variables that I see. It's the variable t. Remember how I put that curve under the t so I don't get it confused with a plus? And we're going to get all those t's to one side and get that t by itself. And we're going to find an answer for this, a number. So let's recall that to solve a linear equation, you need to follow these 4 steps. Solving a linear equation. Step 1, you need to distribute. If you see distributing, that's what you're going to do. And distributing is when you have the parentheses, a number outside, and you are going to multiply inside the parentheses. All right. Step 2, combining your like terms. And that's if there's 2 of them you can put together right now. They're both on the same side already. I call it like a gimme. And your like terms, if you remember from class, I put little hearts around them. Aww. Okay, and then we're going to get all of our variables to the same side. And then once all of our variables are on the same side, then we isolate the remaining variable. Okay, and we're going to go through the steps to do that. So let's get to work. Okay, step 1, solving a linear equation. You remember what it is? Distribute. Okay, I do have distributing here. I'm going to distribute here and here. So when I multiply, negative 3 times 4t is negative 12t. And then negative 3 times negative 4, up, a negative times a negative is a positive. Very important. A lot of people make that mistake. A lot of people make that mistake. A negative times a negative is a positive. All right, 3 times 4 is 12. I drop down my plus 7t, I drop down my equals, I drop down my 6t, and my minus 9. All I want to do in that first step is distribute. Have I distributed? Yes. Next step, combine like terms. All right, do I have any like terms that I can combine right now on the same side? I do. I have minus 12t plus 7t. I can put those together right now. So negative 12t plus 7t, you might need to get your calculator out, negative 12 plus 7, and you are going to get a negative 5t, and then drop everything else down. Plus 12 equals 6t minus 9. Notice how I have these equal signs. I'm trying to keep them stacked right on top of each other. All right, combine like terms. Variables to the same side, all right? No more like terms to combine. When I'm talking about combining like terms, these 2 are not the same, and these 2 are not the same. So on the same side, no like terms. Now let's get our variables to the same side. I do have 2 variables. I see, I have 2 terms with variables. Let's say that. I have 2 terms with variables. Here they are. I want to get them to the same side. And you know what I like to do? I like to move the smallest one. All right? If I move the smallest one, it's going to keep them positive. Not always the best thing to do, but in this case, yes. So I need to move this minus 5t. That's smaller than 6t. So to get rid of a negative 5t, I'm going to add 5t to the left side of the equal sign and add 5t to the right side of the equal sign. All right? Keeps it balanced. Both sides, balancing it out. Balance your equation. On the left side, see what happens? Negative 5t plus 5t is 0. That term is gone. So I have a 12 equals 6t plus 5t, 11t minus 9. All right, I have brought my variables to the same side. Now, let's isolate the remaining variables. So, here it is, the t. I need to get this t all by itself. How do I get that t by itself? I need to move the 11 and the minus 9. Which one do I move first? The minus 9, okay? In this case, I like to think of it as farther away. I move the minus 9. To get rid of it, I have to add 9 so that it cancels. But don't forget, when I add 9 to the right-hand side, I have to add 9 to the left-hand side. All right, let's see what happens. Bring down my equals. 12 plus 9, 21, equals 11t. One more step to get to t by itself. You might kind of have an idea of what's going to happen here, but let's not worry about that right now. One step at a time. Get that t by itself. This is 11 times t, and to get rid of multiplication, what do? I divide both sides by 11. So you see over here, 11 over 11 really turns into a 1. So I have a 1t And over here, equals 21 over 11. All right, not the best looking number over there, 21 over 11. Sometimes when I get a strange number, what I call a not handsome number, I want to go back and check my work. I want to see if I did everything right, because I like to see numbers like 8 or 4, nice handsome numbers. This is not a handsome number, but it is the right answer. So when you see a problem like this, don't be scared if you get a fraction. All right, and my answer is t equals 21 over 11. Now notice I'm solving, and I have solved. I have my variable by itself, t equals 21 over 11. Do I need to call it 1t? No. This one is understood right here, and math people are just not going to write it. They're just going to call it t. And that's it. Solve a linear equation. Follow these 4 steps. Here they are.